Good afternoon, everybody. This is Maria Burke here. I hope we'll have some people joining us shortly. And this afternoon, I am talking to the lovely Helen Weir. Helen, you're really welcome.
Thank you.
So over the last 3 weeks, I have been addressing three themes: being at a crossroads, feeling stuck with a view to getting unstuck, and then having a good life that could be even better. And Helen is here to tell us about her journey of how her good life became even better. So Helen, do you want to kick off for us there, or where would you like to start?
Well, first of all, happy birthday, Maria.
Thank you so much, Helen.
You're still getting younger. You look great. Happy birthday. So, you're welcome. My life really got a lot clearer when I was driving for coffee one day, and I said a prayer when I was driving. I said, "Please God, please can you give me somebody that I can do swaps with? That's like going to have a session with myself, because I wanted to be the client and not the practitioner and the client at the same time." I parked the car, I got my coffee, and when I came back out, I had a message from you, Maria, saying, "Helen, would you be interested in a swap system?" And I was like, "Oh." For me, when we began to do our swaps is when things got an awful lot clearer for me, and your ability to be able to hear what I'm saying between the lines is just amazing. You hit the nail on the head every time. You listen to what I'm not saying and what I am saying, and that really helped. So when I started 321 Focus, I had just finished that long session with you, so I was in a good place. You had me clear out an awful lot of things. And my rambling, or what was the question actually?
Yeah, no, tell us where you were at. And no, not at all. Go for it. And I would have to say that you turning up on my path was just likewise. I had that same wish that I would find somebody who was equally as meticulous, I think is the word, at getting to the root cause. And you have been that person for me. Well, one of four people, as I was saying to you, I have four angels and they're all women, right? Who were really helping me. But you were also that person for me. So it's amazing how, the way sometimes you're afraid. I was almost afraid to say to you, "Are you open to swaps?" But it was actually the perfect thing for both of us, and that's also part of it, isn't it? Like trusting our intuition when we get those nudges.
Oh yeah, I love when life or the universe has those little jokes. Like literally, I go in, get my coffee, and come back out, and there's a text. I was like, "This is friggin' great."
Yeah, and don't you love when the man, like, asking you will receive? But I mean, the thing is, like, for the last few days, quite a group of people have been doing 321 Start, and it was all about asking the questions. And like that, I was having terrible problems with tech and didn't know how to use a screen. And I literally wrote down, "Who can help me sort this out?" And then another lovely friend rang me, and I happened to see the phone because my phone is always on silent. And her husband was able to talk me through the whole thing. It was like it couldn't have been more miraculous. But it's those things you doing that and asking, "Send me somebody for swaps," and that's fabulous, isn't it? Just want to say hello here to Diana Lilly. Diana, it's great to have you here with us. I'm not sure who else is here. I know there's a few people. So Helen, so what happened then? So you had just finished Jumpstart. Hey, Lorena, good to have you here. You'd finished doing the Jumpstart Your Life, the in-person 5-week course, and then you started 321 Focus. So how did you use 321 Focus, or what do you want to tell us about that process?
In 321 Focus, I think the very first thing is, how would your life look if it was balanced and happy? And so just like I learned that from you, ask the question, the answer will arrive. Don't even think about it. Just ask the question and the answer will land in your lap. So I went to sleep and I had a dream. And in the dream, I was backpacking again and I was traveling and I felt very, very free. And I journaled and I realized what I wanted to experience is being authentic, being able to have my words match the vibrations of how I feel. And that was the start of exploring. I remember writing in 321 that I had planted this seed and going to nurture it and just going to allow it to grow. So I'm in the middle of it growing now. And so I probably haven't got a huge amount of clarity that you would like for an interview because I'm right in the middle of it and it's up close. But what I'm finding is I have been gifted with techniques of deprogramming, because a lot of the reason why I wasn't being authentic was because I had belief systems that I inherited from, say, my parents, my family, how people expected me to be, and I had those belief systems, but they weren't in tune with my heart. So I've been graced with techniques to clear them. So I've been clearing them, and then realizing the fears around being authentic, that, if you stop doing what you usually do, what people expect you to do, will they love you? Will they want you? Will you be accepted? Is it easier just to keep the peace, to say nothing? Or I made a decision to stop that pattern, but it's scary at times. So I'm in the middle of, finding out what it is to be authentic as well. I'm only learning. I believe it's a deep connection to the heart, and I'm playing about with how to hear the heart more clearly, and it's working. It's working, and it's making life more real. Like, not like an apathy. If you live life for other people, a certain amount of boredom comes in, because you're living with the idea to keep them happy, to keep them calm, to keep them okay. But then what are you doing for yourself? So when you choose to really listen to your heart and live out at least one of those desires, then you start to really live. And that's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like exciting, or the word will come. It'll come.
Expansive.
Passionate for life. Yeah.
Is it expansive?
Expansive, but bubbly. It's bubbly. It's like enjoyment, joy.
Right. Do you know what it feels a bit like? It feels like champagne bubbles.
Oh my God. Yeah. I've seen something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, just that kind of exciting feeling. Yeah. I love your honesty, but I also love like your dedication to just be your authentic self. Like that is, well, I know I'm trying to do that myself as well, and it really isn't easy. It can be terrifying.
Terrifying, because I discovered actually in the middle of all this authentic self. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Gabor Mate. He lives in Canada, but I don't know where he's from originally. But he talks all about being authentic, and how that can and being able for the consequences of being authentic. Because many people might like that. They've formed attachments with the other version of yourself. But he's really inspiring actually, and really helpful to hear what he's saying, and how you can approach being authentic, and what happens when you do. Yeah. And what happens when you don't actually. He says all sickness comes from that, denying your own heart's desire.
Yeah, I would completely agree with that. And it's really interesting, because just before we started, I was telling you that this weekend 20 years ago was probably the hardest weekend of my life. Because, it was my birthday again, and I was just really conscious that I was in a career that felt completely wrong for me. My relationship, I knew, wasn't supporting me. I was the kind of thing that an awful lot of women do, Helen. I think it's like something that kind of goes down, and we've talked about this with the ancestors, but where you automatically feel as a woman, you've almost got to become a doormat to serve everybody else. And it's almost like as long as everybody else is happy, that's good enough for you. And it isn't good enough. And it does make you sick eventually, or something happens to make you wake up, So it's lovely to hear about people like Gabor Mate that are talking about this. But I think it's maybe even a harder journey sometimes for women, because, our role models have all been these amazing women who are like, just give themselves away, I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, work away.
So when I'm clearing the programs, it's very interesting that you say that. They're all trapped inside the central meridian, which is the female, the central vessel, which is the mother central vessel of them all. And nearly, I'd say 90% of the programs are caught within meridians. And that is the main meridian. Sorry, all programs seem to be caught in meridians, as far as I'm learning. And the programs that I have been clearing were nearly all in the central vessel, which is the mother meridian. So I don't know if it's going up all the mother generations. This is what a woman does, and this is what a woman is meant to do, and this is how a woman is, and that's just it. That sort of thing. I'm not too sure if it's something like that. I don't know. It's in the central vessel anyway. I'm still learning, I'm still exploring, and that's like the mother line.
Yeah.
feminine line.
So is it almost like we're born with it? It's like it's programmed into us when we arrive as females. Is it also in the men, or are you noticing that or not?
No, it has not come up in the governing vessel at all. No, has come up. The only other time it may come up in another line is the kidney, and that's all about fear anyway. So, but otherwise it was in the central vessel, the feminine side, yeah, the mother line. It's
Wow.
interesting.
It's just amazing, and that's what I just love as well about being able to talk to you, because we get to explore and chat about all these things and try and work out more information to free ourselves. But I just love this whole idea, and I remember actually doing some work, the journey of Brandon Bays, and I remember there was a speaker, and Daly came to talk about, and we were having a positive meeting, and she basically had a beautiful big crystal. It looked like a diamond, and she put it in, well, it was a goldfish bowl basically with water, and then she got us all to go and put ink in, and basically, everybody, then you couldn't see the diamond anymore. And listening to you talking, it's like your work is about taking away, whether it's the ink or whatever it is, because inside all of us, when we can find it, is like that pureness and the joy and the love, and we just need to get rid of the programmings and all the stuff that's got stuck on us, basically.
And conditioning.
Yeah. And I think as well, like, certainly from my point of view, you can't do, and I mean, I do a lot of journaling to clear stuff, you can't do it by yourself. And that's, what I think your work is so fabulous like that, is because you have, well, you've done an awful lot of study, but I know as well, you've got new information coming in all the time.
Yeah, got good techniques coming in, and I'm clearing them on myself, so I know the work. I'm like, with the anxiety of a condition of a belief system. I'm like, oh my God, white knuckles. And then I apply the techniques. I get a session or two for myself. I'm like, calm down. So the work. Do you know who's great for this? Is Bruce Lipton. He has a series on Gaia called Inner Evolution, and he has a section on programming and how programming manifests your reality, both your physical body and what is happening around you. It's very interesting. But he said your understanding and your experience of life is all coming from the perception of the mind, and then he goes in to explain the chemistry of the body and how this reflects in your, sorry, I'm rambling again, but how this reflects in your health and your expression of your DNA, and then also what you pull into your reality, which is what we've been doing and what kinesiology has been doing, and this type of alternative health has been doing for years. But it's great now that the science is there to back up what we intuitively knew. It's great that a world famous leader and scientist can just back up what's been done for God knows how long.
Yeah, and I think as well, it's so important for all of us that are working in this area, because I used to, and I feel it less and less now, but again, I think it's as the programming goes away. But I remember a time when I literally would go somewhere and I'd say something, and you could almost feel the eye rolls from people. Do you know the way it goes? Oh, here she goes again. But now when you've actually, just because, and as I've said to loads of people, they were going, oh my God, but like I haven't studied this and I haven't studied that. And I was going, but hang on a second, before that all that science information was written in books, somebody had to channel it in and work it out in the first place. And, if we're the ones who are on the leading edge of bringing new information in, we need to feel less fearful about the fact that we are getting information in and that we can channel in, energies and information to help us evolve. So, it's brilliant. And Bruce Lipton, he's just such a lovely man. And he also has the scientific credentials, so yeah, it's great. It's great. Now you have a card, because I keep seeing you flickering it there. You have a card in front of you. Do you want to tell us about this card?
Well, you asked me, Helen, I'm going to interview you for 321. I was like, what did I do in 321? I did so much with you, Maria. Which one was which? I can't remember. So I opened up my book and this fell out, and it opened up on the page where it was like, I choose to be bravely and boldly authentic, coming from 321. And the card says, it is safe for me to be the real me, and I am loved, which is, there you go. This is, I can't figure out there it is, where the camera is.
It goes backwards, you see. It goes the opposite direction from the camera. It's really
like pulling your hair in the mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and this is what it's all about. And you know, Maria, you really hit the nail on the head, because when I figured out about how to do, the deprogramming, once you've deprogrammed a belief system, then you have to do it's safe. It's safe to change. Because if you don't feel it's safe, the body goes, this is scary stuff. I'm going back to what I'm used to. It's far nicer there in the comfort zone. So you have to do the whole thing with being safe to move on. And yeah, you've really hit the nail. Your cards are so accurate.
Yeah, yeah. And again, they were all channeled in. And, I was having a real challenge with them as well, because somebody said to me that they were childish. And then I know when we had a session recently, we were talking about like the inner child and stuff. And like, this is what, like, it's our inner child for a lot of us adults that needs to be healed. And definitely those cards seem to have that kind of magic about them. Because even I've seen like men in their 70s pick a card and it just all comes out. And it just kind of lifts things and brings the things to their attention. So yeah, but again, I'm only take credit for the fact that I actually wrote them down, but the energy came in from somewhere else, and the wording came in from somewhere else. But they are very childlike. But that magic of childhood, yeah.
Yeah, but Gabor Mate, he says it's all about the inner child, and they're profoundly insightful. So you've got the perfect balance.
Yeah, thank you. Right, so if anybody's thinking of signing up to 321 Focus, what were the one or two things that you really got out of it, or what little bit of advice would you have for them? Because I'm conscious you're a busy mom. She's a kinesiologist, but she's also a mom of 3, and she's very kindly left her little girl with somebody so that she can be here with me today. So I don't want to keep you too long either, Helen.
No, I'm enjoying myself. What was your question? What would I recommend for people, or why?
Yeah, well, maybe what are the one or two like things that were really powerful for you in 321, and then why would you recommend 321 to anybody if they're thinking about doing it? Guys, I'll talk to you all here in a minute in the chat. Thank you, Dara, for the birthday wishes. Lovely to have Lorena here. Lorraine, thank you for the birthday wishes. Diana is saying, anyway, who said cards, childish had closed heart. Yeah, God bless them. It's okay. Do you know what I think, actually, Diana? For me, what I find is if somebody says something, they're usually reflecting back a doubt I have in myself. And the person who did it, I'm actually, when I got over the anger of it and the upset, I am so grateful because they actually allowed me to get over this whole piece. And we probably wouldn't be having this conversation otherwise. So, yeah, it's like, when you become completely sure in yourself that you're okay and that you're enough, then there really isn't anybody pointing any fingers at you. And if they do, it doesn't affect you. Isn't that's kind of what I feel at this stage? So I like when the fingers, also a reflection of yourself, Diana, I think. Sorry, Helen, there's a little stream of, I don't know if you can see the comments as well, but there's a little stream of comments in here. Oh, right, okay. Well, here, I'll show you here. So here, I put that up on the screen. So Diana's just saying that sometimes it's a reflection of themselves. Well, maybe they were afraid to reconnect with their inner child. Anyway, bless them. I'm very grateful to them. So yes, going back to this 321 focus. So what would you like to add?
Well, it gives me the clarity of the seeds to set, and you have to sow the seeds to experience them, to experience them grow. So it gave me the absolute clarity of what seeds I wanted to plant, and now they're growing. So if you don't have clarity, you won't manifest what you want. You know what I mean? So it's great to set the time aside and to get a few things cleared about how they are for you, and give yourself the time. Because if you don't buy something, you'll just make an excuse and you'll miss the day. And you'll make an excuse and you'll miss the day. And the next thing is 10 days later and you're like, I still didn't do what I said I was going to do. So it's 20 minutes aside for yourself a day to really dig deep and to see what you want, and then start planting seeds that God knows what could change for you.
Yeah, and the thing, it's funny, the other day when I was doing the 321 start part, and one of the things that came into my mind, I'm sure you have come across one of the lovely Esther Hicks insights, is that if you don't have clarity, it's like wishing for blue and wishing for yellow, and you end up with green. So you get a mishmash of, and you're not sure what, it's not what you want because you've never taken the time to work it out. So it's so true. Yeah. And did you find you could do it in 20 minutes a day, or did you allow yourself to have more time, or how did you actually use the process? How does it work for you?
Well, I know. I think it took me longer than 20 minutes a day, and I mightn't have got the full of it done. I might have just picked certain areas to focus on or whatever. I usually did a bit in the morning and a bit at night time. But I like to go slower and I like to give myself the extra time. So it did take me longer than 20 minutes because I allowed myself to have that.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing about it. I mean, I know definitely there are times when I've been busy because I've done it every single time myself. And when I'm busy, I pick the bits and just fit in, even if I only do 10 minutes in the day. That's enough. Because it's not about putting ourselves under pressure, but it's nice sometimes with the reflection questions to have a bit longer to do them. So brilliant,
yeah.
Brilliant, great. So is there anything else you want to add?
A lot of funny story. I think this was about self-love. And every time I go to your house, I get well, when we used to, I used to get a puka tea. You know the puka love tea?
Yes, the one I'm drinking here now.
Yeah. Yeah. And so one of the things you asked in 3, 2, 1 was, how can you be more kind to yourself? And I was like, right, I know what I can do. I really want, creams for my face. And I don't know why I wasn't buying them. I had no idea. So I sat down and I bought myself the biggest expensive cream. It wasn't even that bad. And then I was like, God, I'd really like that. And I put it in the basket and then I took it back out. And I just bought the one cream. But then when it arrived, I got the cream I bought. I got the thing that I put out of the basket as a free gift. And I got a Puka Love tea. And I was like, oh, Maria's everywhere.
I love it. I love it. Oh my God, that's fabulous. Yeah, yeah. And it's amazing as well when you do that little bit of work and you spend the time on yourself and your vibration is higher. Like you are a magnet for an awful lot more magic, And I think as well, even though you don't, the way sometimes it is, because 3, 2, 1 in the past has always been you've been on your own journey, and this time around I'm going to add a Zoom on a Monday evening. So that people get to see each other and talk to each other. But whether you actually know you're in the group or not, there's the energy of the group is very powerful. And Greg Braden talks about that. So even like 2 people talking together is affecting 400 people. But with a bigger group, like that energy, but all that power is going into your wishes then as well. It's like, I don't know, it's like almost putting your seed in a hothouse. And so it can actually germinate faster, And I think that's something that we don't always appreciate when you don't actually see the other people that are in the group, that there is this group energy happening, yeah, brilliant. Yeah. So I'm kind of here going, my mind is kind of going blank here, so it is at the moment. I'm afraid. Yeah.
I'm going to do a monologue.
Right. So is there anything else that you want to add before we finish?
No, just that you're a genius and anything you touch your hands who turns into magic. So everybody's on a winner if they open their heart and embrace it.
Oh, Helen, that's so lovely. And I would have to say that right back to you. That is so wonderful. So look, thank you so much for being here. And I'm just going to I have a few announcements to make, but I know that you need to go back to your gorgeous family. And so I will be back to be talking to you shortly. I'm actually conscious of somebody, because of my birthday, somebody's actually at my door knocking to try and get in as well, right? So it's kind of distracting me. I'm sorry, everybody. It's all happening here. So look, Helen, I am so grateful to you for being here. And I look forward to chatting to you very soon. And thank you for being so awesome. And when I get my podcast going, which will probably be in the autumn, will you come back and talk to us more about your work? Because I think everybody needs to know what you're doing. I find you absolutely amazing. I don't know where I'd be without you. That's the truth. And so, yes, thank you. Namaste, my darling friends. Thank you so much. Lots of love. And wasn't she wonderful, everybody? You were absolutely fabulous. Thanks, Helen. I'm going to let you go, and I'm just going to finish up with the Take care. God bless. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Right. So just to finish up, guys, and I feel really bad. Somebody was at my hall door there. So to let you know what's happening. So Helen was talking about 3, 2, 1 focus, which is the 30-day online program. And that starts again next Thursday on the 6th of May. And there's an early bird at the moment until the 3rd of May. So we have a bank holiday here in Ireland for anybody who's abroad. We have a bank holiday, so the end of bank holiday Monday night. So Monday night at midnight is when the early bird finishes. And I'm going to talk a bit more about 321 Focus in a second, just for anybody who wants to know what's really involved. But first, 2 announcements. Number 1, I have another lovely interview lined up next Tuesday, which is the 4th of May at 1 o'clock Irish time. And this is actually really special, close to my heart. So I heard this talk on International Women's Day at a corporate event, and it's my daughter Melanie Lynch, who runs Her Story, who actually was sharing all her tips. And I thought, wow, what a gorgeous thing to do, to be so generous. And she has a beautiful presentation explaining all the things she uses, you know, from yoga to meditation, etc., for self-care. Because, you know, whether you're at a crossroads or whether you're feeling stuck or whether you have a good life that, you know, could be even better or anything in between, you know, self-care is no longer a luxury. I mean, it's actually essential, and it's a responsibility to herself. So she's going to share those tips for us on Tuesday. So watch out for that. And the other thing is that, you know, some people know me, and I know myself. I can be, I suppose, what's the word? I can be reluctant to get involved with new people, etc. So if anybody would like to get a free taster of my work and how things work when you work with me, all this week there's been a free workshop at 321 Start. And so we ran it between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We had loads of tech difficulties, but everything's running perfectly today, which is really interesting. But I better not jinx it either. And so all those recordings are there. So if anybody would like to do that, especially now that you're going into the weekend, might take you about an hour and a half overall. And you can, you know, take it in chunks. I'll put the link to do 321 Start. I put that into this post afterwards for you. You can just sign up, and the welcome email will actually explain everything you need to do so you can work through it yourself, and you'll get your workbook there as well. So that's just that. But for anybody then who is actually interested in doing 321 Focus, I'm just here. Sorry, I've got notes all typed here because there's just so much going on. So 321 Focus, it's a 30-day online personal development program. You can do it in 20 minutes a day, that's the minimum. But often what happens is when you write the question down, which is my process, and you leave it there, you'll feel like coming back later on, but at a time that suits you to fill in the answer. You don't need the 20 minutes in one slot, as Helen said there. You know, you can split it up during the day, and you can do it at a time that suits you. So basically, 3, 2, and 1 are 3 elements that repeat every day. So 3 is a daily affirmation, which really sets the tone for your day. And intention setting is so important because once you take the time to set the intention, it's like sowing the seed. Amazing things start to happen for you. 2 then is the lovely daily guided meditation. It's just 6 minutes long, and it's all about opening your heart and sending love out to the world and letting the love come back. 1 is your daily gratitude, which is a longer gratitude piece than people sometimes do. Again, really, really powerful because, and I know it was Diana who's put us in the link the other day when we were in the 321 Start group. A grateful heart is a magnet for happy surprises, I think it was. I'm trying to remember exactly. So there's a gratitude piece, and then the focus is actually the 4th element, and that's something different every day. So yeah, so basically in terms of the mechanic of it, you're talking about there's an email every morning at 8 o'clock, except Sundays. And then that'll direct you to your material for the day. And basically after 2 days, you get the run of it. It's very easy. 3, 2, and 1, you know what they are. You do them every day. And even the setup on the first day, you can actually technically get that done in 20 minutes. And that also includes watching a little video from me. And the lovely new thing from this time is that on a Monday, we're going to have a Zoom call so that we'll all be able to connect together. And it's optional, so there's no pressure to actually attend that. So, you know, what have the results been? I suppose, you know, Helen has been here talking today about how it really helped her to get focused and, you know, get clear about the seed and what she wanted to work on. Lorena, who's here now, spoke last week about how she was feeling stuck, and it helped her get unstuck. And then Bernie was here the previous week talking about how she'd been at a crossroads and not sure what way to go, and how her life has transformed. But I can't guarantee, and I never would guarantee outcomes. We're all in my opinion, on a soul journey, and it would be irresponsible of me to guarantee outcomes. But if you decide to come on this journey with me, you'll get whatever it is that's right for you. And I think that's a really important thing for everybody to know. Ultimately, for me, it's about empowering people, and so that we all get to the stage where we trust our own intuition, and we have tools to help us, no matter the good days and the bad days. I've been on this journey for 20 plus years at this stage, but it doesn't mean that I don't have the difficult days. The difference is I have the tools to help me, or I have the understanding, or I'm even getting better at being kinder to myself and being more compassionate. So that's all part of this journey. So yeah, the other thing as well is that there are loads of people who've done it a few times, and they work on different things every time. So you can choose to work on one area of your life, or you can choose to work on your whole life. So yes, basically, so we're talking about the investment is €75, and I've looked that up to see what it is. So it's about $90 or 111. I love that 111 number. If you're in Canada. So that's roughly what it costs, and so it's €100 normally. It's 75 until Monday evening. You can sign up on my website again. I'll put the links in here afterwards. And because I'm 55 today, there is a birthday bonus. So the first 55 people who sign up, if they have a code 321START, will get you a free pack of Magik cards when you sign up for 321 Focus. So but what are you going to get for your investment? And basically I share the tools, and I know the cul-de-sacs, so I've let those out. I share the things that I find really helpful for me, the things that keep me happy and empowered. And it's a daily gentle support. But really importantly, it's an opportunity to get to know yourself. And people report having more confidence and more peace, and just a sense of direction and personal achievement, and more happiness. And the value of this actually is priceless. But it was interesting. Last year, I interviewed a lovely lady, Sheila McCann, and she told me when I interviewed her, she said, "I have a surprise for you," and she only told me in the interview. So Sheila had done 321 Focus. I didn't know her. She actually lives across town from me, and she did 321 Focus. And she revealed on the interview that she was a psychotherapist, and she had done 321 Focus to find something to give to her clients when they no longer needed therapy. So she actually recommends 321 Focus as a support for people who are on the far side of their therapy. So that's just again, it's a bit like Bruce Lipton, just that scientific evidence, but that's a psychotherapist. And I know Lorena also is a psychologist, and she, again, with that scientific, knowledge and coming from that side, and would also have found it really, really good. So look, that is kind of that's really what's going on for what 321 Focus is all about. So look, what I would say is, if you're interested in doing the taster and you haven't done so already, and I never said hello to the people in the replay, I'm sorry, but if you're interested in doing the taster and you haven't done it already, I'll have the link for 321 Start here in the post. I'll also put the link up for 321 Focus if you want to find out more information. And keep in mind then that we have that lovely interview with my gorgeous daughter Melanie Lynch on Tuesday, and I'll put the information up for the early bird and the bonus. And and that is actually it. So thank you all to everybody who's been here today. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Helen is fantastic, and she is so pure, and she's really helped me an awful lot on my journey. She was like heaven sent the day she turned up. I really was in a very tricky situation, and life has improved an awful lot with her and my 3 other angels around me. So have a fantastic day, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Have a lovely weekend. Thanks, Lorena. Have a lovely weekend, and I look forward to seeing you soon. And put the diary date in for next Tuesday for that lovely presentation from Melanie. So all my love, everybody. Have a fabulous weekend. Bye. Take care. Bye bye. Thanks a million.